MC talks, yo. MC talks, MC talks, MC talks. Y'all wanna be entertained? Then join the show. It's the MC Talks live show. Now you know, real smooth vibes with a steady flow. MC Talks live. Welcome to the show.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel yet again. So I'm gonna have to keep looking down at my phone and make sure this live is working. I don't know what's going on YT's end. I know everything on my end was looking good. I basically did the live earlier and everything just went out kaput. And I did everything that I was supposed to have done. Everything's supposed to have went right. And then I think something on YT's end that done went out. So I'm deciding to do the live again. None of the stuff saved. None of the stuff saved. So I'm like, wow, I can't even go through and see if I can try to cut up the videos and post them individually, each topic individually. So I'm keeping looking down to make sure that everything is working fine. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to the beginning. I have to do everything over again. It's fine. Everything is okie dokie right now. But we're going to get through this live. I'm going to go through everything pretty quickly. I'm going to give my opinion on every subject, every topic. I'm going to go through everything quickly simply because, you know what I'm saying, I did all of this before and everything went out. So on today's live, we're going to be talking about Ray J calling out Beyonce and JayZ. We're going to be talking about Tamar versus Funky. We're going to be talking about McKnight Jr. exposing his father, Brian McKnight, for what he did to Nikko before Nikko passed away. And then we're going to talk about 500,000 Americans over 80, okay, still in the workforce and working and everything. So let me check real quick, make sure the live is still running. Everything good? All right. So let's go ahead and get through this live before anything else happens, okay? Because it's just driving me crazy, and I really want to get this out there for y'all. I really want to talk about these things. So let's jump into the Ray J thing. So the Boy Is My tour has been popping, okay? It's been stirring up a lot of buzz. JayZ and Beyonce been showing up there simply because Kelly is in the tour, and I'm guessing that they going to the tour and they supporting Kelly. All right. And you know, Beyonce and Kelly, they just like sisters. So they going to support one another. So Kelly, she's been on this tour. She's been doing her thing. Okay. And just recently the other day, it was a photo release from the tour with Monica, JayZ, Beyonce in the picture. And I forget who else was in the picture. Somebody else was in the picture, if I'm not mistaken. So they was in the picture or whatever, and you see Beyonce, she got her arm on Monica's shoulder or something like that. And, you know, just showing love to Monica. But a lot of people were actually trying to figure out where was Brandy, okay? And a lot of people felt like something was going on between Beyonce and Brandy. Now, according to other sources, back in the day, Brandy and Beyonce had some kind of, I ain't gonna say beef, but you know, they won't see eye to eye, and I guess they didn't, you know, care too much for each other back in the day. Now, this is my first time hearing about it, but this is what I've been gathering and seeing online. And so, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think that stems from that, but I don't know. I mean, both ladies, they in their 40s, they on their grown woman shit. So I don't see why they would be carrying it over if it was some type of beef back in the day. I don't know. But you know, JayZ and Beyonce, they've been showing up on the tour, you know what I'm saying, and they supporting Kelly. And so Ray J decides to hop his ass online, his attention-seeking ass online, and call out Beyonce and JayZ. All right. So we're gonna go and hear what Ray J had to say, and then I'll be back with more of my commentary. So here come Ray J, and so let's hear what he had to say.
The show, come say what's up to Brandy too, JayZ and Beyonce. That's it. Like, because like we big fans. We got our family in there, our cousins, and we know y'all there, and we love y'all, and we look up to y'all. For y'all to come to every one of Brandy and Monica's shows and never say what's up to B, and take all the pictures and all. I mean, it just, I don't like it. And I love you, Jay, and I love you, B. Please, like, you guys are the biggest 2 stars in the world. So we know you there. Just, you know, Brandy room, just pull up, say what's up, B, have a good show. I mean, she don't care. She never told me about this, and I am crashing out on this one. This is crazy. But as a brother and a fan of JayZ and Beyonce, like we want to take some pictures with y'all too, and we want to say hi, and we want to be inspired by the inspirational words that you guys are going to give us. JayZ and Beyonce, please, and I know Brandy and Ryan are going to hate this, but please pull up and say what's up to B. And if y'all there, this y'all 6th or 7th time being at the Brandy Monica tour, or the Monica Brandy tour. I ain't said what's up to B at all. I just don't think that that's okay. I love you guys.
First of all, you know, Brandy, she done laid him out, and if she could have got her hands on him, she probably turned him every which way but loose. All right. And you know, Monica, she don't play that either. She is involved in this too, because simply she's on the tour as well. So I know she didn't like that either. And given that Beyonce and JayZ is attending this tour, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It affects both of them because it's their tour. Ray J, he does too much for me. He does too much. He's a attention seeker. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got so many other things to worry about, as if, you know, what didn't happen the other week with him pulling the pow pow on Princess Love and her cousin didn't exist. Like, he's acting like that didn't exist. You got a whole new other issues to be thinking about and worried about, but you over here meddling in Brandy's business, yet drawing unwarranted attention, you know what I'm saying, to Brandy and this tour. This thing is big for Brandy. You know what I'm saying? Brandy is one of these big names on the tour. I mean, they the headliners, okay? You know, headliners, her and Monica. That's their tour, the Boys Mind tour. And I feel like I feel like Ray J is out there trying to take attention from what's really going, the positive, you know, attention from it, and just make it even more negative, because he's going by what he's seeing online and what other people are saying, simply because they didn't see Beyonce or Brandy in the picture with Beyonce and Monica and JayZ and so forth. And you know what I'm saying? That's just him looking through the comments or whatever and hearing the gossip and going online and running his mouth. Okay. I'm sure Brandy did not want that to happen. I know she done laid him out. Okay. He does too much. And this is one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying, he's banned for Twitch. This is one of the reasons why nothing is really working out for him. He's old enough to know better. And things is just not going his way because of the way he is. And that wasn't his place to speak out. If anything, it was Brandy's place to make a comment if she wanted to come forth and talk about the issue, which I highly doubt that she was thinking about coming on the internet and talking about the reason why she won't in the photo, or the reason why she felt the reason why Beyonce and JayZ not showing her love, and she tell her reasoning or whatever. She didn't feel the need to do that at this moment and at that time. She got more things to focus on as the tour. Okay, she got things to focus on. And I just think that Ray J needs to mind his business and be quiet and sit down somewhere. And I think I seen like a clip on either on the Shade Room or the Neighborhood Talk of Monica taking Ray J's phone. So you know what I'm saying? So that right there is telling too. Stay off your phone, stay off the internet. They don't want your negative attention affecting their tour. All right. So moving on. Like I said, I gotta move through these things, y'all. So let's talk about Funky and Tamar real quick. So for y'all that don't know, Funky and Tamar been going head and head. Okay, they've been going back and forth, and simply because Tamar was being shady. Now, let's rewind it back real quick for those who don't know, which I know most of y'all know, but let's just rewind it back. So Funky and Tamar fell out because Tamar came online and said that her teeth was on the floor and she was in a pool of blood. And that night, her and Funky, or that day, her and Funky had went out. Supposedly, a birthday party was thrown for Funky or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? And after the function and after the, event, I guess Tamar went upstairs to her apartment, her hotel, who knows? And she woke up in a pool of blood, her teeth was missing. And then everybody online assumed that Funky had something to do with it. And Funky wanted Tamar to clear his name. But Tamar, and they too was texting, and Tamar texting back like, I can't do this right now, I'm in hospital, blase, blase. And you know what I'm saying? And Funky gave her, some grace and said, okay, fine. So as the days went on and, and all this stuff, everybody talking about Tamar and what happened to Tamar and was basically shocked what happened to Tamar or whatever, people steady kept coming for Funky Dineva and blamed him, saying Funky had something to do with it, like making it seem like Funky had something to do with Tamar losing her teeth and laying in a pool of blood. Well, Funky reached out again, and he felt like Tamar won't trying to basically, speak out for him and let the world know that he didn't have anything to do with it. She basically wanted this. She told him like, hey, please don't mess this up for me. I need all this publicity and everything for my album rollout, for my video. And this would set Funky off. And you know what I'm saying? Funky was saying, hell no, hell to the no. And that was that. So Funky got on his YouTube page and cleared his name himself. And this is where it started from. So now Tamar ended up on a podcast and threw shade at Funky yet again. When Funky told her to keep quiet, keep his name out of her mouth, she decided to throw shade. Because, you know what I'm saying, this is Tamar. Tamar gonna throw shade. And basically during the podcast, she was saying, yeah, I threw a party for a friend. And this is what set Funky off. Because Funky claims that Tamar never threw the party for him. And that he paid for his own stuff. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, so then Funky went on ahead and put her on blast and said that she was dating some married man. I can't remember his name, but said she was dating this married guy. He's very popular. This is my first time knowing him. I forget his name. And you know what I'm saying? Then Tamar, she sent out the lawyers after Funky while still promoting her album. Now, I believe everything Funky's saying because these celebrities, like I said before, these celebrities, they rush up money. They rush up, they're attention whores. And you know what I'm saying? And they basically want to promote whatever gig they got going on. They want to promote that because they need that money right now. We're in hard times. So they don't care. They don't care if they're going to have to throw somebody up on the bus to get their shit promoted and pushed through the algorithm simply because they need the money at this time. And that's why I don't really fool with celebrities. And this is the only thing that I've criticized Funky and other YouTubers and bloggers for doing is befriending these celebrities. You're supposed to be unbiased. You're supposed to come online, give the news, okay? Do your blog, do your YouTube, give the news, be unbiased, and give your unbiased opinion. But when you are friends with these celebrities, you can't do that because they're constantly watching you. And the only reason these celebrities also befriend these YouTubers and these people that do commentary is because they don't want bad publicity. They don't want people speaking negative of them. They don't want to be dragged. Okay. So whether they out here doing fuck shit or doing whatever they doing and we report on the news, they befriend these bloggers so these bloggers will go lightly on them. And this is the case. And this is a whole different case because I feel like Tamar knew exactly what she was doing. She was using Funky because, according to Funky, Tamar was kissing and hugging all up on this married man. I forget his name. I forget his name, y'all. Excuse me. I'm sorry. It's because, everything, I'm finally getting everything working. But yeah, I forget his name. But, and Funky claimed that he felt uncomfortable because her and this married guy was basically kissing and smooching and everything around him. And you know what I'm saying? He was trying to save her, but Tamar was being messy. So according to Funky, you know what I'm saying, he was trying to save her. So he went on and out of her about that situation, because he felt like Tamar was throwing shade and she basically won't being, keeping, his word. He basically told her, keep my name out your mouth. So he basically warned her. So that's the whole thing on that. Then Tamar, let's go ahead. They threw shots at each other on Instagram. So let's take a look at that real quick. So Tamar posted this on her Instagram story and said, and again, no tea, no shade, it didn't work. Basically saying whatever Funky posted about her and this married man didn't work. And then Funky posted this. It absolutely did work. You're the laughing stock of the whole internet. So they had words or whatever. And Tamar, it did work. I think his name is Medizi or something like that. Medizi. I can't say his name. I don't know if I got it right or not, Medizi's. But they said this dude got wide hips and shit. That's what I was seeing up in the comment, but I don't know. But I feel like I feel like Funky had every right to come out and basically speak for himself and come to his defense on this matter because people were dragging him. I seen the old comments up on the live bites and I seen where people was talking about Funky and dragging him and making it seem like Funky had something to do with Tamar losing her teeth and in a pool of blood and stuff like that. So I seen all that stuff. So Funky had every right to do that. That wasn't him being a messy fag, according to Funky in his words. That wasn't him being messy. That's what Funky, I'm just quoting what Funky's saying. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't him being messy. That was him protecting himself and, you know what I'm saying, and coming out and telling his truth. And I believe every word Funky said about the situation. Because I see a lot of people online calling him a messy fag and this and that and the third. I see a lot of TikTokers who was basically Tamar fan base and they saying that, and I don't think he was being a messy fag. I think he came out and told his truth. He told what he saw, what he experienced at that gathering, and he told what really happened. Tamar wanted to use Funky and all of this for publicity for her album rollout, which was effed up because if you really friends with somebody, you wouldn't throw them up under the bus like Tamar did Funky. And then, like I said before, Funky messed up befriending Tamar. You cannot befriend these celebrities. You got to keep it business, okay? Keep it business-wise. Keep it unbiased. You can't befriend these. And that's the problem. I go online. I be watching these commentators, these YouTubers, and they be like, oh, I just talked to Cardi B online on the phone or texting and this and that and the third. And you know what I'm saying? That was just for an example. That's what they be doing. They be like, oh, I just had contact with this person, that person, just to brag on it, just to let it be known they befriended a celebrity. When really these celebrities don't want to be YouTuber friends because they see us as YouTubers as people under the barrel or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm just saying they don't see us as, they're equal. And that's that. And they're just going to use these YouTubers and the other commentators to benefit them. Sorry, I got to keep drinking because I've been doing a lot of talking. The live is finally working. Moving on. Let's go to Brian McKnight Jr. Brian McKnight Jr. Basically called out his father, Brian McKnight. As y'all know, Brian McKnight's son, Nikko, had passed away from cancer. Now, Brian McKnight been estranged from his first set of kids for a while now, and he doesn't claim them. And he just act very horrible to these kids. I'm not going to be on this topic long, but I just want to go ahead and play what Brian McKnight Jr. had to say. Because basically, on Nikko's dying bed, Nikko wanted Brian McKnight to say, hey, can you just tell me you love me and that you actually care for me, and so to speak. And basically, Brian McKnight told him that he couldn't tell him that he loves him. He told that to his dying son that was dying from cancer. So let's hear what Brian McKnight Jr. had to say, and then I'll be back with my commentary on that.
One of the darkest and coldest and most disheartening memories of my life is the day my brother calls me sobbing with all that he's going through, looking death in the eye, to tell me I'm right about telling him not to call my father. Because I knew what was going to happen. Because I knew where my dad was. I told him, man, the dad is gone. Dad's gone. All my brother wanted and needed, asked for, was my father to tell him that he loves him. And my brother responds to him, or my father responds to my brother that I can't arbitrarily say that I love you.
Right.
But this is the man that wanted to help him.
All right, so y'all heard what Brian McKnight Jr. had to say. If I was Brian McKnight Jr., I'd change my name. Hands down, I would change my name. I wouldn't want anything to do with him after that. That would have been the last straw for me. Now, speaking for me and myself, I was actually a Brian McKnight fan. I was a big fan of Brian McKnight. You know what I'm saying? He was in the playlist and everything. And then when all this stuff come out about him disowning his kids and, you know what I'm saying, having this animosity towards his kids and doing some of the things he was doing, it rubbed me the wrong way. So I took him off my playlist. I stopped listening to him because that was too much for me. You know what I'm saying? From my own experience, it was the other way around. I got close to my dad in my early 20s. And when he got sick and got down, I stepped out and I moved in with him and helped take care of him and everything. And I did that because I felt like it was the right thing to do, and it was. And just seeing this and then, witnessing this, it's just sad. And then I think about myself and, my dad too. And I'm just glad that me and my dad got close before my dad passed away. Now, for Brian McKnight to sit by the side of his dying son that was dying for cancer and tell him that he couldn't say that he loved him, that is disgusting. That is disgusting. And that is the last thing that he remembered before leaving this earth. You got to really feel you can really feel the hurt and everything from even talking about this topic. So I can just imagine how Nikko felt not getting that validation and everything, that love and everything from his father. You know what I'm saying? That is just sad. You know what I'm saying? Only thing he wanted is for his father to say, hey, I love you. And, he couldn't even get that from him. And I feel like karma is really going to hit Brian McKnight really hard. And it's probably going to come from his new family and those new kids that he rushed up and thinks so highly of. But yeah, it's sad. It's disgusting. And the simple fact that he even came online to say he was trying to help Nikko and trying to get close to Nikko and blaming it and doing all this gaslighting and blaming it on the mom, the mother of his kids on the other side, and just blaming it on her and just gaslighting and try to, switch it up. It's disgusting too. I believe Brian McKnight Jr. I believe every word he's saying. And you know what I'm saying? And his karma, Brian McKnight, his karma is coming. It's going to be through that new family of his. And you watch what I say. It's going to be through that new family of his. He's going to get the karma that's going to come to him. God's got something for him. You don't do ugly and think you're going to continue to be blessed. That was ugly and it was disgusting. And to see that in the blogs, it's very, I feel for the kids. I feel for his kids. You know what I'm saying? His first set of kids, I feel for them. And like I said, if I was Brian McKnight Jr., I would change my name. I wouldn't want to be associated with him. That would have been it for me. That would have been it for me. I would have been done with him. I wouldn't even speak his name or utter his name out of my lips again, especially if one of my siblings was leaving this world and they was hurt by those last words of supposed to being the father. Nah, that's just too much for me. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. We got to keep moving, you guys. So we 25 minutes in. I try to make this 30 minutes, but let's keep moving. All right. So nearly a half a million, nearly a half a million Americans over 80 are still working to make ends meet. That is crazy. That is crazy. I can imagine what these elderly people who are still working, who are basically still working over 80. Because when I come home, my feet, my back, everything be tired. Physically, mentally, everything be tired. Okay, and spiritually. Because I'm telling you, when you work, it takes a lot out of you, and it takes a lot of your time and everything. So according to Black Millionaires, the article said as the cost of living continues to rise and retirement savings fall short for millions, a growing number of Americans' oldest citizens are remaining in the workforce well into their 80s. Recent estimates shows that nearly half a million Americans over the age of 80 are still employed, a trend that highlights deepened financial insecurity among seniors. For many, continuing to work isn't a choice born from passion or the desire to stay active. It's a matter of survival, with housing, medical care, and everyday expenses outpacing fixed income. Older adults are turning to part-time and even full-time jobs to bridge the gap. Social Security alone often isn't enough, especially for retirees who did not benefit from the robust pension of lifelong saving plans. I'm gonna have to say this, y'all. Like I said before, my live had messed up on the first one. We in bad shape. We in bad shape in this country. We're in bad shape simply because, you know what I'm saying, the elderly people cannot sit back and enjoy the rest of the time that they have left on this earth. They have to go to work. And when I get in my 80s, I'm sure y'all too, I don't want to be up in nobody's company standing on my feet for 8 hours, 12 hours, or whatever, 4 hours. I don't want to be in nobody's company standing on my feet and just working, knowing that I put in all these years of work all the way up until I'm 80 something years old, which is insane. Okay. I would want to be laid back, relaxed, reading a book, or laid up on the beach, doing some traveling or something when I hit retirement age. I want to just relax, see some things before I leave this world. I do feel sorry for the elderly. I know a lot of things is going up. The economy is not what it used to be. It's messed up. You know what I'm saying? Expenses like light bills, you know what I'm saying? Medical bills and stuff. Medical stuff is rising. Food, groceries, gas, everything is just exhausting. And at this point, I feel like a lot of American peoples are losing hope. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like I'll be losing hope as well, because I'm like, damn, I'm feeling it too. I'm feeling it too with this inflation and everything going on. It's a lot. And you know what I'm saying? Especially with the health insurance, all these premiums and stuff, and all this stuff dealing with health insurance, the rise in cost and everything like that is going up. Medicine, you know, insulin, all these things are rising. And it's getting really scary out here. And, you know, hopefully somebody will come in and put this at ease for us and try to fix what's going on with this economy. It's just too much. That's why it's important to make the right decision when you go out and vote. Make the right decisions and don't make the wrong decisions, because one decision affects all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a lot of hard times going on out here. So yeah, I feel this article. So for the people who's going through these things, try to keep your head up. And because I'm in there with you, and it's not just, you know, elderly people going through it, it's younger people too. A lot of people who's in their 20s and 30s, I'm gonna say late 20s and in their 30s and stuff like that are moving back in with their parents because the cost of living is so high and it's so expensive. You know what I'm saying? So it's really getting real out here. And I wanted to bring light to that and I wanted to talk about that because even the elderly people are feeling it too. So, you know, all the thing we can do is just keep on striving and keep doing what we doing until something happens, till we get the right people in these offices to make the right decision and work for the people instead of themselves, instead of the rich. Okay. But anyway, so that's my live for tonight. Hopefully everything went fine, went good. My producer over there nodded and said, like, yeah, is everything going right? Everything going good? So good. Yeah, so like I said before, I did this live, and the first live, just everything went kapooey once I finished and nothing saved. So now that I know everything is good, I'm glad. We had got some snow out here, so I wanted to go ahead and do this live because I know the next 2 days is going to be busy for me. And I normally does a live on either Saturdays or Sundays. So I wanted to do a live tonight. Go ahead and get that over with. Hopefully everybody was entertained. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Engagement is important. It helps the channel grow and it helps me get new equipment and everything in and for future equipments to make the quality and everything better for y'all. So make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Engagement is important. So like, comment, subscribe if you care. And I'll catch y'all on another one. I'm out. Peace. One